Your standards are too high. I don't think anyone's going to meet them. I meet them. What do you mean? I meet them. The standards came from me. I am the criteria. I'm not expecting anything I can't give. I am quite literally proof that the standards can be met. So no, I won't lower my standards unless I begin to not be able to meet them myself. But that's not happening.
All right, let's talk about the women's high standards. Here's the issue. A lot of people talk about high standards, but they rarely talk about what they bring to the table. Wanting a tall, successful, emotionally mature, financially stable partner with endless patience isn't wrong, but expecting that without offering the same level of effort, growth, and accountability, that's where things break down. Let's get started.
I heard the girls are sharing their cut list for 2026, and as a Christian single mom, we are running a very strict program over here. So here's mine. If you have Snapchat, cut. You can just text or call them. If you don't have a relationship with God and you don't go to church or read your Bible, cut. If you don't know what you want in your mid-20s and 30s, what do you mean you don't know what you want? You're supposed to be getting married and having kids. If you follow a bunch of girls on Instagram, you're lustful, cut. On the same topic, if you watch or follow any OnlyFans girls, you don't have self-control, cut. If you don't work out and take care of your body, I'm very into fitness and I think it shows your discipline in life, so cut. If you go out to the bars every single weekend, once in a while, I like to go out once in a while, but every single weekend, cut. If you can't control your anger and every single little thing pisses you off, that's such a turn off, cut. If you don't have ambitions and goals in life, cut. If you cannot communicate or express your feelings, cut. If you put your bros before your girl, cut. Are you gay? Do you want to go marry them? You're not going to put them over me. If you're still friends or talk to any of your ex-situationships or your exes, cut. If you don't have hobbies, you're cut. If you don't like the outdoors, you're cut. That's a big one. If you can't plan a date and you're going to ask me, hey, what do you want to do or where do you want to go? Cut. If you can't plan a date, you can't plan a lifetime. If the majority of your friends are girls, red flag, cut. If you play video games, there's so many better stuff to be doing. What do you mean you're going to play video games for hours? No. If your friends are all hoes, that says a lot about you and who you surround yourself with. If they're hoes, you're probably going to be a hoe too. Cut. If you hesitate to give me your phone, cut. You're probably hiding something, and if I can't trust you, no. And lastly, if you don't like kids, I have a kid, so if you don't like kids, not going to work out.
Who knew that saying I would require a non-refundable deposit to take me on a date in 2026 would send so many broke men into a spiral? It's almost like they forget that I am paying for a babysitter, transportation, nails, hair, makeup, time, effort. Most of those things cost me money. And yes, I am now dating with intention. I am dating to marry, and I am going to marry a provider. And if that offends you in any way, you were never my target audience. It's like so funny to me that my content is actually rage bait for angry men, because I originally started posting for the girls and just to connect with like other single moms and women in general. But triggering men actually accidentally just became my favorite new hobby. So I'm gonna keep doing that.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom.
Things I learnt the hard way, so you don't have to. The bare minimum should disgust you. Disgust you. If it doesn't, you need to work on your self-esteem and your self-worth. Someone who claims to be sensitive, but is only sensitive to their feelings and not the feelings of others, is actually just a narcissist. A friend to all is a friend to none. And a friend who becomes an enemy over one small misunderstanding was an enemy all along. You will never be confused with a man who is serious about you. A man will go above and beyond for his dream girl. If he's not treating you like a princess, it's because he doesn't see you as one. And most likely, you are just a placeholder. Being misunderstood is the cost of being above average. You will never experience hate from somebody who is doing better than you or looks better than you. They weren't being nice, they were just studying you. Having drama over the age of 25 is embarrassing. Go find some peace and get some money. Poor boundaries is just an invitation for people to steal your peace. And they will. A man who does nothing for you deserves nothing from you. If you want to be happy, stop entertaining chaos. Protect your peace. And it's easy to say, but protecting your peace also looks like being comfortable with being disliked and putting what you want and your needs first. Being alone does not mean lonely, but loneliness has treated me better than any man ever has. A man with no self-esteem will diminish yours. A man with no inner peace will destroy yours. A man with no loyalty will question yours. A man that avoids his own emotions will avoid yours. People don't actually want advice, they just want you to validate them. People who try to humble you are uncomfortable with your power.
In 2026, I'm really getting strict in my dating. I mean, not even in 2026. Right now, I'm getting very strict in my dating. And these are a few things that I do not like. I'm like, you're cut from this. So like if we're talking for a few days and you haven't properly planned a date yet, like a date is not going out for drinks, having coffee, going out and playing like those games like a Chuck E. Cheese. Honestly, a movie is not a red flag. I really like watching movies with someone because it shows me how I like we can like get along during movies. Like I like to talk during a movie sometimes, and if you say shush, you're cut. So anyways, I don't like drink dates, I don't like coffee dates, I want a date where we can both eat a freaking steak and talk about politics. Yeah. Anyways, if we're talking for a bit and you haven't asked me on a proper date, you're cut. If you say tentatively, let's go out this Friday, but then don't text me for a whole freaking week, you're cut. If I tell you certain things, and you don't remember them, you're cut. Because I remember things about a person, and if you don't remember things about me, that means you're busy with someone else and you're cut. If you're doing things for another girl, you're cut, because that's not what my husband would do. Like, he wouldn't be like, oh, I'm doing this for my friend because she really needs it. And I'm like, okay, you can go be with that girl, because I'm not going to worry about that. If you have a weird following or a weird situation with your followers, you're cut. Like, that's just weird. I can't. If you have a girl best friend, you're cut. I don't care. If you can't keep like communication consistent, you're cut. If you're not funny, you're cut. If you think sarcasm is like a good way to play on a joke, you're cut. If you think that staying out till 2 a.m. on a freaking Tuesday because you've got league or whatever, then you're cut. Because I will not be begged to stay out till 2 a.m. on a Tuesday with you and your buddies. Sorry, because I'm not going to be bitched at. If you have a weird obsession with your family and you hang out with them way too much, you're cut. I love my family and I go see them a couple times a year. It's wonderful, but I do like being 400, 500 miles away from them. And I have boundaries. I do FaceTime my parents once in a while, but I'm not gonna go hang out with them 4 days a week. If you live with your parents, it's fine, but I need you to move out before we decide to move in together. Because if you don't have any future planning, you're cut. If you don't have a 2 to 5 to 10 year plan, you're cut. These are like things that I have and that I am as a person, and if you can't fit in that category with me, it's fine. It's fine, but you're cut.
If you are a single man in 2026 and you think that this is the year you're going to find love, here, come a little closer, you are cooked. You need to go back in time. I straight up cannot believe the audacity of some of these women. I don't know if it's because of Instagram or Hinge or something, but It's insanity what's going on. So a girl out of nowhere follows me on Instagram. And this isn't some random girl. Like, we have mutual friends. I know of her. She knows of me. You know, she looks good. She's modest. So naturally, I get a follow and a like kind of out of nowhere. But it was warranted after some time, I believe. Mind you, it's 2026, and I used a method that was patched back in like 2024. You know, I just dropped a like, let her know what's up, just say, hey, you know, I'm here, I'm present, I'm aware. And that's when I get a like on my story back as well. So I'm thinking, okay, back in 2024, that's the green light. That's, you know, that's Moneyball right there. And for the most part, it was. I started off the conversation with just something light. I come in real smooth. I say, apparently this year we're due for a dinner and a good conversation. And that's when I thought I had that green bean right there, that green light just in right there, right? Right? She sent some laughing emojis, haha, that was good. Definitely so. So I'm thinking, all right, it's good. But then she asked me this weird question that I didn't even know how to react to. And me being a very animated speaker, I might not have did the best job at replying to this. So I don't know what a 666 club is. Well, I didn't until now. Now I do. So she said something like, I like my man part of the 666 club. And she used the dashes, but I still thought 666. I'm like, wait, no, I'm not no like weird. No, I'm not into none of that. I'm not as into the church as I should be, but I follow God and I'm very, you know, connected with that. So me not knowing what she was talking about when she said, I like my man part of the 666 club, I was like joking aroundly animated saying, oh, there's nothing 666 about me. And that's when she replied with the shock emoji, and I just like respond with the laughing emoji and saying, yeah, I'll never be part of that club. And that's when I stopped getting responses. And I was like, what the heck? I mean, like, we got like crazy stuff going on or something? So then I looked up what the 666 club was. And oh my goodness. The 666 club is over 6 foot, has 6-pack abs, and makes more than 6 figures a year. What? And I'm going to just be straight up. I mean, I'm not fully part of that 666 club. I have the short end of the stick, if you get me. Like, I'm 5'11", and you know dang well that nobody is going to let me live at 5'11" and say I'm anywhere near 6 foot. I'm not. I'm in the fives. But the fact that I couldn't get a response because I'm not part of the 666 club, like, is that the standard of men that's out here these days? That's got to be a less than like a 8% or 7% type of deal here, because that is a very hard 666 club to get into. One thing you can't even control is your height. Like, come on, man. What am I going to get, the male version of a BBL and get my legs broken and extended? Not doing that to get that extra inch. 6-pack abs, you know, not everybody can have a 6-pack. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Gym bros, you can correct me on that. And then a 6-figure salary, I mean, that's where I'm the closest, but like, damn, dude, come on. Dating is just not going to be for me here in 2026. I can't believe that this is the standard that we're competing with.
These are my 5 dating rules of 2026. They are hard and fast rules. We are not breaking them. All right, let's start with number 1. We're coming out the gates hot. I'm not paying for a single first date. I'm not paying for a single first date. That check comes, I'm not flinching, I'm not pretending, I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there quietly, I'm looking at you, and I'm saying thank you. That's a huge one for me, because if you've seen my videos, you know that I've struggled with this so much in the past. I always offer to pay, I always offer to split. I'm not gonna do that. We're not doing that in 2026. I'm 30 years old, I'm about to be 31 in 10 days. Presumably, if we're on a date, you're in the same general age range, or at the very least, life stage that I am in. You should be able to pay for our first date. I'm not paying for a single first date in 2026. And please hear my words, I'm saying first date. If we progress to a date past that, we'll talk about it. I'm not paying for a single first date. Number 2, I'm not coming to your neighborhood. I'm not coming to where you live. And I'm not meeting halfway. Sorry, if you and I live 40 minutes away from each other and you want to go on a date with me, for the first date, you can come to me. If there's a second date, I can go to you. If there's a second date, we can meet somewhere in the middle. For the first date, you're coming to me. You don't have to pick me up. In fact, you're not going to pick me up. That's so scary. I can get myself to the date, but I'm not coming to you. I'm just not coming to you. You're supposed to be courting me. How are you going to court me if I have to travel 2 hours to you? It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm not coming to your neighborhood. There are a lot of neighborhoods in Los Angeles, so if you and I live in neighboring neighborhoods, that's fine, no problem. I'm talking if you and I live very clearly in different parts of the county, I'm not going to come to you. You got to come to me. Number 3, I'm not planning the first date. I'm not guiding you. I'm not giving you setups. You and I likely matched on a dating app, and I make it very clear in my dating app profiles that I'm trying to meet quickly. That's enough information that you need to know that I'm trying to meet. You can plan the date, can maybe collab and work together if the vibe is right, but I need to see some initiative. Whether or not we collab on the first date is just gonna depend on how much effort you've already put into this. If I'm bearing the burden of planning most of it, I'm not doing it. I'm not planning the date. I'm just not doing it. That's for you to do. Number 4, I'm not going on a first date this year without either FaceTiming or having a phone call first. Always practice. A boy just texted me. FaceTiming is not always practical, so I'm not going to pigeonhole myself by saying we have to FaceTime before the first date, but at the very least, we need to have a phone call. I thought I was okay with doing voice memos back and forth, but I've learned that even with the voice memo, the energy is just so different and so weird. So I'm not meeting until we've either had a FaceTime or a phone call first. Doesn't have to be long. They could be 10 minutes. But I just need to be able to know that I can talk to you for a period of time without wanting to run away. And the last one, ladies, is I am leaving a first date the second I feel disrespected. Key word is disrespected. I am not going to leave a date just because I decided right then and there in the first 20 minutes that I'm not into this guy. I'm not going to leave a date because I just know that we're not compatible. I am going to show respect to the other person. We're here on a date. Let me at least try to get to know you. But when you start disrespecting me, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. And that's going to be another one that's hard for me too, because I have a habit of like, give people the benefit of the doubt. I have a habit of not wanting to make other people feel bad. But if you watch that video of me walking out on that date 10 minutes in with that Harvard dude, that felt good. That felt really good. And it's because I knew that that's what I deserved and that's what I should have done. Rule number 5. The second you start to get condescending, the second you start to mansplain, the second you start to treat me in a way that a stranger should not be treating me on a first date, I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving the second I feel disrespected. And those are my 5 hard and fast dating rules of 2026. Good luck out there, sisters. The odds be ever in our favor.
I'm bored, so I'm going to tell you guys some of my standards I have for men in dating. First of all, I will not date you if you have any close girlfriends. If you have a girl best friend, absolutely not. You're cut, you're done. Goodbye. I truly believe that guys are not friends with girls that they find unattractive. They are only friends with a girl if they find them attractive, meaning that if she ever admitted feelings, it'd be like, next, if you do any sort of drugs or have a severe drinking addiction, you're cut. If you follow too many women on Instagram, you're cut. If you don't know them, if they're the Instagram models, the OnlyFans girls, you are extra cut. It's giving desperate, cannot do it. If you're stingy with money, you're cut. Like, I understand not wanting to be in debt, but if you're having me split the bill on a date just because you're stingy and you have the money, you're cut. This is kind of a random one, but if you don't have any friends, you're cut, because why are you not close with anybody? Like, some people are like, oh, I like my man to be a loner, da-da-da-da-da. I don't. I feel like that's a huge red flag. Like, nobody likes you. You don't want to talk to anybody. Like, you're cut. Anyways, those are some of the biggest things I look out for in men when dating, but yeah.
Okay, I've been told my entire life that I have really high standards when it comes to dating. They are right. What has allowed me to move into and buy this multi-million-dollar house, make the money of my dreams, and be the best provider I can be for my children. So let me share with you some of my absolute requirements for when it comes to dating or any kind of partnership in my life, and I hope it serves you. First, I don't fall in love with potential. Maybe in my 20s, if I could do it over again, I would fall in love with potential. That's what I did. The problem is someone can have potential and never become fully actualized. And so my standard now is you have to be fully potential. You have to be fully actualized. You have to know who you are, what you want. You love what you do. You have figured your life out as best as you can. You're in the zone. You're in the flow. So yeah, that eliminates a lot of people who are still trying to figure things out. But that's okay. They're on their own journey. They're on their own time. They're allowed to figure their things out. You want to be in a relationship with me? You need to have your stuff figured out. 2, you have to be able to kindly communicate. Relationships have tough moments, tough seasons, tough chapters. You're 2 very deeply connected people. And when you're deeply connected, you know how to speak life to one another and you know how to deeply wound one another. So they need to know how to use their words kindly to communicate, not just when they love me and they want to affirm me, but especially when we're going through a hard thing or I've done something to hurt them or I've let them down in some way. Can they kindly communicate? Because that's going to determine the conversation we're going to have, which is going to determine the results that are going to come from that conversation. So they have to be able to kindly communicate. 3rd, they have to have a growth mindset. I need to know that you're willing to listen, to learn, to try new things. You're open to new things, because if you are closed and you're not interested, you don't want to learn, you don't want to try, our relationship is going to get so boring so fast. I want to go on adventures. I want to learn new things about you. And when we learn new things, when we put ourselves in new environments, our relationship gets deeper because I learn new sides of you. That's amazing. That's how intimacy is fostered. But if you're stuck and stagnant and you don't have interest in growing or trying new things, we are not going to work. Fourth, something that's really important to me is that when we are facing conflict, when we're going through a hard time, that you turn towards me, that we are the couple that turns towards each other in conflict, not away. This is the number one thing that researchers have found, that when a couple either turns towards each other or turns away, determines the length of the relationship. The couple that is willing to turn in is likely to have a long-lasting relationship. The couples that turn away from each other during conflict, their relationship's not going to last. So it's important to me that you don't pull away from me, but you're willing to lean in and work with me to come to a resolution. I understand we all need space, all that, yes. But at the end of the day, or the end of the week or whatever, I want you to turn towards me, kind of communicate, and let's find a resolution together. Last but not least, they need to be just as good to you in private as they are good to you in public. They need to be good to people in public as good as they are to you behind the scenes. I often see couples where it's one or the other. They're really nice to you behind the scenes, behind closed doors, but in public, they're a total jerk to you. Or they're amazing to you in public, but then behind the scenes, they're a total jerk to you. Congruence. You need to treat me the same behind the closed door and out in public. I want you to be good, not just to me, but to everyone. I want you to be good to our servers. I want you to be good to our family and friends. I want you to be good to me. So I want you to be a good, generous human. And I want there to be alignment. I want there to be congruency. I have no room, no standards, no space for a two-faced person. You do these 5 things, the chances of us having a thriving relationship, the chances of you having a thriving relationship with anyone go through the roof. Hope this helps.
Guys, recently I just had a man tell me that my standards were way too high, and at first I was a little disappointed, so that sucks. But then I looked around. I looked at my life, I looked at where I'm at, my success, my accomplishments, my business, my friendships, my peace, my energy, my joy, and I said, no, I think I'm good. I think they need to stay there. Because ladies, listen, when a man ever tells you you're too much or your standards are too high, that's quite literally the same thing as them saying, I'm good down here, I'm comfortable down here, and I'm not ready nor willing to meet you at your next level. And that's fine for you, but for me, oh honey, no. I want to ball in life. I want to build the hottest body, the hottest life. I want all of my dreams to come true, and I want to look good doing it. Because here's the truth, adversity always demands an upgrade. Just when you feel like life is going so well, it always finds a way to smack you across the face. So yes, when life gets hard, your standards need to hit harder. So woman to woman here, yes, raise your standards, and please stop apologizing for calling yourself forward, holding yourself accountable, and quite literally building the hottest body and hottest life you want.
So if you're constantly asking, where are all the good men? It might be time to ask a tougher question. Am I being realistic with my standards? Standards should be a filter, not a wall. And just keep in mind that for the man that will check all your boxes, you may not meet his standards because a higher status man is going to be looking for the opposite of what you want.
I'm 36, I'm single, and unfortunately I'm attracted to men. Dating has been terrible. Most men, I tell them exactly what I need and what I'm wanting from them. Most of it is just better communication. That's literally it. Like, the bar is so low, and men can't even do that. It's like I'm holding the door open for them, and I'm like, hey, like, this is exactly what I need and what I'm wanting from you. And they just stand there, like, staring at the door. It's so tiring, and it's so exhausting. Like, I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like, why is this so hard for you? I literally told you what I wanted and what I'm needing. I, like, wrote it out, and you can't even comprehend that. So that's where I'm at. I do have a date next weekend with a guy who has great communication. He's 37. Also, age does not matter. I've dated 40-year-olds who, dude, they're just dumb. So I'm hoping, no, I have a feeling this guy is going to be great. I just hope that we have the connection that I need and want, and that he needs and wants. But like, the last 2 guys I've dated, I've literally been like, this is what I need. This is what I'm wanting. Like, you need better communication. And also, I'm so blunt these days, like, straightforward. Like, they're like beating around the bush, and I'm like, oh, so you're canceling our date? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I would like for you to take the initiative to plan another date. Like, why don't you do that? Like, it's fine if you need to cancel, but just plan the next date. And then they don't. And then they ignore that text, and they're like, oh, you got a new tattoo? I want to see. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about my tattoo. What I care about is you planning the next date. And then you don't, so now I'm not going to talk to you. Now I'm going to ghost you. Sorry, not sorry.
It's entirely too many men getting triggered online by women proclaiming that they won't date a man who's not 6 feet tall. They won't date a man who doesn't make X amount of money. They won't date a man who would take them on a first date to Chili's. They won't date a man who's not built like Steve Rogers' post serum. There absolutely is. The majority of women have dated men under 6 feet. The majority of women have dated men who don't make six figures. The majority of women have been on first dates in little casual settings with guys that they're genuinely attracted to because they're genuinely attracted to the guy physically. The majority of women have not dated men who are built like Steve Rogers post serum. Women lie. Attraction works very differently in the real world. Most normal couples, you know, the ones you see walking down the street with a guy who's sub 6 feet, a pregnant woman, and the guy has a belly, a beer gut, he's kind of fat, the woman isn't all that. Most of those couples, they happen in regular places under normal circumstances. The majority of couples in the West, that's how they form. Not via social media, not dating apps. That's not how most relationships form. That's not how most babies are conceived. Y'all listen to these women just say a bunch of bullshit that they don't actually practice in real life. If you look at their dating history, you see that most of these women have dated nothing like what they claim to like on a podcast or on a social media post.
Sis, nobody wants to talk about how much women will tolerate from a man just because he's fine, has good sex, or because he got a bag. Because if he was ugly, half the stuff y'all excuse would be a hard no. Bad communication, disrespect, no effort. But because he looks good, now he's just misunderstood. No, you're just attracted. And attraction be having a lot of women real quiet about their standards.
That is why women are single.
Why do you keep talking to money when you talk tradition?
Because I'm telling you that's how I am as a woman. So if I'm with a man, like, I'd rather be at home with the children, taking care of the home.
Can you give me another
while
example?
you're outside.
Okay. Can you give me another example of tradition that is not based around finance?
That's tradition. The woman role and the man role. The man is the provider. The woman is the
But it's not always
the one that cares for the home.
But it's not always based around finance. There's some traditional things.
I'm taking care of the children. I'm taking care of the house. That has nothing to do with finance.
So you don't believe that in today's world that you can maintain doing both?
I think that's unfair to the woman.
You're already doing it.
Correct. But if I have a man in my life,
So that absolves you of everything
and
you've
that
been
is
doing?
why women are single.
Wait.
Because it's like they rather do it by themselves, just like a man rather do it by himself.
The message that you're putting out there is that this is tradition. This is how it should go. And no, how it should go is me and you come together as two independent people
Correct.
and we figure out how to make this house work.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who would say, hey, you know what? You want to be a Fortune 500.
That is still more tradition. Like, that is a more traditional. If you go back, that's how it was. Women didn't have rights. Women couldn't work. Women couldn't do
But
shit.
you got 'em
Just
today.
Stay home.
No, but
That's what I mean when I say tradition, guys. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking about old age. I would have been better off in the old days, guys. Like, for real. Like, I would have been better off in the old days because I would have been a great mom at home, cooking, cleaning, and that's it. I would have been
Ooh.
good. Like, I would have been good, for
she
real.
threw me off.
That
Like,
gives you-
I'm being honest. Like, I'm not for this time. Like,
Where's my camera again? Where's this one? This one. Fellas, like the fellas need to hear this. Fellas, I want you to know, and this is me. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I want you to know. There are women out there that want to build with you, not build with tradition. I'm not speaking against her because what is good for her, what's good for you works for you. I want you to know that. I'm telling you, my brothers, who are now growing in this era where that is becoming a thing. And it sounds, what she's saying is, I don't think she's saying that she would not fall in love with the person, but the message could come across as that. I want you to know that there are women out there that will not put that standard on you and will actually take the time to get to know you and grow with you. And That has been my issue in trying to date. And having to decipher between the women who want that, who also want to take the time to get to know me before they even decide if they want to actually be with me.
A man with money is expected to share, but a woman with money is told she doesn't need a man. Same income, totally different rules. Let me explain before you get mad. In our culture, men are taught from day one that if they're not earning, they're failing. If they can't provide, they're not real men. If they don't pick up the check, they're broke or stingy. A man's value is often reduced to his financial output. Now flip the script. When women become successful, we don't expect them to carry anybody. In fact, we celebrate it as a form of freedom. Yes, queen, you're independent. She doesn't need a man. He's expected to provide, but she's expected to escape. Because if we really want partnership, then we need to stop placing all the financial burden on one side while celebrating freedom on the other.
And not do anything makes no sense to me. It even says, where it says in the Bible, man not made to be alone, not at all. So maybe a man who makes less than $50,000 a year should not be taking you out, or he should not be taking your friends out, or he shouldn't be taking me out. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. But
these bad body heifers really do just be running around here doing that. Y'all really believe this shit that comes out y'all mouth? But that's crazy. Shouldn't be taking me out. Sherry? This? That right there at like a $50,000 nigga can't do that. This? That nigga tall. But this? All right.
It's like you have to accept that you're dating the crossing guard girl.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting. The crossing guard girl who just is on time for work. She makes sure she's out there. She keeps the kids safe. We need her. Shout out to the crossing guard girl. But that's why I work with boss babes. That's why I work with women.
Boss babes. Boss babes. Oh yeah, man. Smokey and them, they really be out here working with boss babes. I hate what this world's becoming. I'm telling you, it'll all be over sooner or later.
That aspire to be business owners or scale their business.
Yeah.
Because number one, man will invest far more into you when you are the investment.
Say that.
Stop being the bill. Become the investment. Okay, that's number one.
Or do your job. Do your job as a lady. Stop running around trying to be a boss babe and cook something. Be good at cooking, good at cleaning, be good at doing nasty things. There's so many things. And stop thinking you can talk. When I say talk, I mean, like, oh man, I'm smart. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not, because someone should have told Smokey the Bear over here. Whatever.
Number two, his jaw just dropped. Number two is if you are en route to becoming the investment and you want a businessman, you got to have a business, man. You can't call the BBB and make a report right now. Yeah. The Better Boss Bureau, because baby, you have to do it better than that.
I have to.
And this is why what I do is so valuable for the culture.
Yeah.
We are shifting and changing the way that people meet and date.
I love that.
It is okay to use people. It is okay to use people. In fact, if he's not being used, he is useless. If you are not used,
This is wild. Nobody ain't gonna. If a guy said the stuff she was saying, but was talking about a woman's body, how crazy, they would be like, wow, baby.
The delusion is real. Most modern women nowadays want premium men while offering discount value. And look, I'm all about being delusional when it comes to rewiring your brain and believing in yourself, but we can't be delusional about the reality of what we actually bring to the table. And before you roll your eyes, hear me out, girl, hear me out. I keep seeing women with lists of requirements, certain income, height, looks, lifestyle, but when I look at what they're bringing to the table, there's a huge disconnect. And listen, we need to have an honest conversation about this, and unfortunately, I'm going to say what everyone is thinking, but no one wants to admit. We've been programmed by social media to think we deserve the top 1% of men, regardless of what we offer in return. I see women who are overweight, have zero emotional intelligence, bring drama everywhere they go, and have zero self-respect, but they want a man who's fit, successful, emotionally mature, and has his life together. Society has taught us that we can demand everything from men while bringing nothing valuable ourselves. But that's not how attraction or relationships work. Men, they know when they're not qualified for certain women. If a man is overweight, broke, or immature, he generally knows he needs to level up to attract quality women. But we've been conditioned to think that just existing as women means we deserve the best men, regardless of our own value or effort. The culture has made us so delusional about our own market value that we think we can get a high value man while being low value ourselves. And then when men have standards for us, like wanting us to be fit, feminine, pleasant to be around, we get offended and call it shallow or unrealistic. We hold men to standards but get upset when they hold any to us. That's not reciprocal, that's just you being entitled. If you want a man who takes care of his body, take care of yours. If you want a man with emotional maturity, develop your own. If you want a man who's successful, bring something valuable to his life. You attract what you are, not what you want. So if you want a high quality man, become a high quality woman. Stop expecting men to meet standards you don't meet yourself. Level up or lower your expectations, but be realistic about what you qualify for.
Regarding the conversation about men providing for women and not compromising your standards as any gender, but of course I'm going to be talking about women and men if that's the context of my relationship, my view of the world, my account. Anyways, without being too condescending, something I think that gets lost in this conversation is the simple fact that I expect these things from a partner, and I think people should have high standards, because if you aren't willing to be inconvenienced by me or to make sacrifices for me, you straight up don't love me or have respect for me. Men seem to get tripped up on, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this to be in a secure relationship. Because I expect you to like me, because I expect you to love me, I spend money on my friends. I spend money on my family. I want to be treated like family. I want you to act like you like me. I want you to buy me things because that's what friends do. That's what partners do, as far as I'm concerned. It's not, oh, you do all these things for me and I'm not going to love you back. No, it's an expression of love. And it says a lot that many people can't even comprehend this critical, unspoken aspect of the conversation at large. Why would I be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't want to buy me flowers, that doesn't want to get me jewelry, that doesn't want to take care of me? Why would I want a man that doesn't want to give me those things? Why would I want a man that wants to see me struggle? It's because he loves me. He does these things for me because he loves me. And if you fall short, you're communicating to me that you don't like me, that you don't love me, that you don't want to put a smile on my face. It's as simple as that, but apparently that's asking for too much for your partner to like you, for your partner to express that he admires you, respects you, loves you, wants you to have nice things. Apparently that's controversial for a lot of men.
This is my hot take. I think a lot of y'all have met your King David, but you have been introduced to him whenever he's still out in the field, when he is still the shepherd boy. And that doesn't mean that he's running around being messy. He's still pursuing the Lord. He's still dedicating himself to becoming the person that he's meant to be. But a lot of y'all want your King David already sitting on the throne, so perfect, so high and mighty, so in his purpose and flourishing from it. And you fail to remember that King David had a come up. King David was out by himself in the field. He didn't drive the nice car. He wasn't the cool kid. His family situation wasn't the best. And you're sitting here trying to put all these parameters and these check boxes on this amazing man who God put in your life, who's just not quite there on the throne yet. There is a progression that has to happen. And I think I used to really be this girl who thought that I needed someone who already had it all figured out. And my heart has changed so much because I understand that God brings two people together to carry the load of their purpose, of their vision towards the will of God. And they join in that and they build on that together. It is a partnership. And I think a lot of people take that scripture about being equally yoked. It is two people being willing and able to carry the load together and build something together. And for me, I don't need someone to already have it all figured out. I just need someone who has vision and has drive and is willing to put in the work to carry the load together to get there, because we will get there. But I don't need someone who's fully baked right now. I don't need him already on the throne. I also don't really want to have a project, but that's not what I'm saying either. So Christian dating culture, y'all be saying lots of things, and I don't agree with all of it. And we shouldn't expect people to be perfect or to have everything figured out. What we should have is a willingness to see that person for who they are and to have the discernment and pray for the awareness of the Lord to show us, is this someone that I can build with? Is this someone who we can prosper together in the future? Let's see the evidence of that and let's build upon it before we discount someone because they don't drive the kind of car that you want, or because they aren't making the kind of money that you want, or because they have some character flaws that they're still actively working out. Because we are not perfect people, and we shouldn't expect other people to be. The Bible is filled with stories of people who were imperfect and God still used them. And we shouldn't be so hard on fellow believers just because they don't check all the boxes. That being said, God will make it clear who your person is and if you should pursue them and if they are pursuing you, and things will be apparent on if you will have enough clarity to know. Anyways, I guess my point is don't let people bully you into thinking that just because he's not perfect, he's not for you. That's my hot take. Let me know what you think, because I know this is gonna start the pot a little bit.
She is right, and dating doesn't fail because women want better. It fails because women refuse to acknowledge that everybody comes up in life very differently. High standards only work when they're paired with self-awareness, effort, and humility. Otherwise, it's not confidence, it's entitlement. And in 2026, entitlement is the fastest way to stay single. Thank you for those who are subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate you and will keep pushing. See you on the next one.